Hi, my name is Igor Voss, and I am the founder of GrimLime, the new international complaint service. So what is GrimLime? It's a product combining the experience and the best practice of all previously launched online complaint services, whereby no successful story has been built yet. It's the working model of algorithm, which at last will create a necessary incentive for vendors of products or services immediately to react to a complaint of any shopper. For the last 15 years, there has been growing a global tendency to ignore customer complaints and responses. But nowadays, business heavily invests in marketing and advertising, gathering a constant pipeline of temporary clients, use lawyers to search for gaps in the legislation, create multiple tricks of any innocent shopper to accept conditions, insert small letters into contracts, and many other tricky things. Following such bad practice, in 90% of cases, businesses violate the rights of the customer, causing insignificant financial or moral damage. As a result, the client has to estimate that filing an appeal to a court for a refund, example £300, turned out to be long-lasting and expensive task. He may lose a few months, lots of money for this case, and finally get no result. So what are we supposed to do with such circumstances? Those companies forgot that it's the clients who make the blood running in the veins. A year ago, an unpleasant incident happened to me in Spain. The local car rental company, Gold Car, where I had rented a car for 8 months, refused to return me money for 14 days. I used to work in Spain and I had to rent the car on long-term conditions. The maximum rental period in this service was 28 days. Under the terms, I was to pay 100% in advance for the whole term. In March 2014, I had a family trouble that made me to depart urgently. So after the first 14 days of my rental period, I dropped the car in Gold Car depot and applied for a return of €390 for an unexpired 14 days. I approached the counter, waiting in a queue. A manager completely ignored me, so I had to depart as my flight boarding drew to the end. Upon coming back home, I wrote 12 emails to the company for a refund. As a result, I received the feedback stating that I could not be refunded and I should read carefully the contract that describes all the details, including my particular case. That was the final drop to my glass of patience, and I had to admit that in recent years I faced such misconducts in many countries and different spheres buying goods and services. I conducted a social survey, interviewed 5,000 people in 4 different countries, and made a conclusion that up to 91% of respondent people have the same negative experience. That was the day when I started drawing GrimLime.
Hi, I'm Alexander Smirnov, and I'm the GrimLime co-founder and chief networking officer. I'm responsible for GrimLime network development, public relations, and monetization. It will be a year soon as we're developing the plan of GrimLime introduction for the social sphere. Since that day, when we had a task to create a new global service, I started collecting all contacts, details from different resources directly or indirectly involved in complaint business. I realized that the best way to create a global system which will allow us to cope with declared challenge is to pull out efforts together. From that point, I have been working to search for possible cooperation with large, medium, and small complaint and rating resources connected with such issues. I also form a database of state and public organizations responsible for consumer protection in different countries. The plan for geographic development at first stage covering the audience of 1.4–2.5 billion people, as the platform will work with 3 language interfaces, English, Spanish and Russian. It will involve United Kingdom, United States of America, Australia, Canada and other English-speaking countries. Its primary language resource will be English. We'll also include Spanish as one of the most popular in the world, and will start from Spain, Argentina, Mexico and other Spanish-speaking countries. Russian will also take part at the start of this program and will involve Russian CIS citizens to fight for their customers' rights. My functionally also includes advertising and brand promotion. Few words about GrimLime brand. We succeeded to catch the mood and create the bright, memorable logo reflecting emotions of the person who faces a problem that cannot be easily solved. The idea is thought completely over and the brand concept is elaborated. I consistently created a plan of steps which begins with the preparatory part of large international advertising, internet campaign, as well as social media. The target group will plan to attract for the first 3 years will make from 1 to useful users by each country. With the GrimLime promotion, it will be growing in a geometrical progression. 94% of respondents are willing to address repeatedly to the resource and will recommend it to their colleagues and friends if their original complaint beneficially solved. We will do our best for the GrimLime to be on the leading global social platforms. GrimLime has several ways of monetization. The primary income will come from companies which will pay for access to public work on a complaint with the customer. If they do not satisfy his claim in a 3-day period, access to public work on the complaint has 3 different price levels. Non-pecuniary damage, £100, material damage, £200, and injury damage, £500. After payment, the company has access to a public profile where it will be a defendant on the complaint of the customer. If a company as soon as possible does not respond, the next month the amount of access doubles, 3 months triples, etc. The longer the company ignores a complaint, the more expensive at the end will be worth it in public satisfaction to the client. After starting the platform, we expect that the overall flow of complaints at the first year in one country will be about 360,000. The conducted survey that every fourth company will be interested in service where they will be able to demonstrate their loyalty to the customer, correct the errors, and show the audience a great customer importance. During the first year of life after their launch, we plan to capitalize the service from 5 to 7 million British pounds by each country. As the resource importance will grow, the number will increase significantly among the complaints, so among the companies which will respond. A secondary source of income, resource kinds of internet advertising, it will be calculated from the audience number separately for each country. Let's use the GrimLime and together we'll return control over quality and services.
Hi, my name is Artem Potapov, GrimLime co-founder. I am responsible for GrimLime platform architecture, including software solution and its components, user interface, user experience, mobile application, and information security. So, what is GrimLime from technical point of view? GrimLime as a platform includes both front-end and back-end parts. Front-end part is a web portal which allows a user to post complaints addressed to particular businesses and to get access to appropriate GrimLime resources. GrimLime web portal has a personal account concept implemented. Front-end part also include mobile application to provide the user the ability to post the complaint in an easy and effective way. The model we designed allows the person to customize its personal account interface in 5 seconds. Upon your registration, you may post your complaint with details, attach scanned documents, checks, invoices, and other supporting materials. You may post a picture or video file to be published on the GrimLime video channel. You receive a confirmation, and within 3 days you have to wait for a feedback. If a business responds and your complaint is resolved, all you need is just to remove the original complaint from the GrimLime. Otherwise, If a company ignores your complaint, it will be published in 72 hours after your request. At the same time, the complaint will be published on the websites of our partners, which have plaintiff and rating services. Using your own account, you may check if similar complaints posted through GrimLime. You will have to access the legal partners, state and public organization where you may re-forward your complaint. You may contact with bloggers and mass media to send your story and to get instant access to our web platform in social media to update your publication. You remain to be waiting for a company to respond to you sooner or later to your satisfaction. Claim settlement is taking place within public interaction on a resource system that enables other users to see the process. A business position in a rating of GrimLime and public resources will be changing interactively. The longer you are ignored, the lower the status, the worse the reputation and the chance to get to the top 10 blacklist of GrimLime. So join GrimLime. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andrei Matt. I'm a co-founder and the developer of algorithm of action of GrimLime and the finance director as well. I will try to briefly explain to you how it works. Nowadays, a single person cannot affect circumstances and attract attention of a huge corporation violating its rights. You may be screaming, shouting, swearing, writing hundreds of letters, or even breaking a window, but all these actions are useless, since a business is not motivated. At best, a business may find a kind-hearted employee to express sympathy. How can we influence this process? Very simply. We should pool our efforts together, not just customers, but also those who urge to protect customers' rights, and we should pool our efforts globally rather than in a nation. In such case, the situation will be turned upside down. If today an individual faces a big corporation, then, in our case, a small company will face a big crowd of clients. GrimLime's scheme of work is simple. Your complaint gets to us, we re-forward it to respective business. Further to your original complaint, we explain to a business that they have 3 days to process the complaint and meet obligations to your satisfaction. If a company agrees and resolves an issue to your satisfaction, then you send us a response and the complaint is not published. The case is over. However, if a company ignores correspondence within 3 business days, it then gets listed on our resource and may never be removed. The information becomes public and available to all users, but that's not the end. We will sign for partner contracts with all well and lesser known rating and complaint resources globally, and your complaint will be automatically published on their platforms. As a result, your complaint will attract public attention to the company. You may ask me, is that all? The answer is no. It's just the beginning. At our resource, your case will be saved in a cluster with same complaints. You will be able to contact other shoppers, coordinate your efforts, and get advisory from our legal partners. For legal partners, your particular case may happen to be a good chance for a collective or a public suit. In every country, GrimLime will create sections for state institutions and public organizations whose mandate is to protect individuals. You will be able to apply directly to those institutions for support. In the long run, we will be re-forwarding your complaints to such institutions in order to accelerate corporation feedback. The resource also provides opportunity for mass media and bloggers to publish comments if complaints still becomes ignored. And the last but not the least important instrument of support is social media. So let me summarize how to make your complaint to affect magically on a business. First, to publish it at GrimLime. Second, to publish it at all resources containing complaint and rating services. The third, to coordinate with adherents who face similar cases. Fourth, to get legal assistance, and in case of evidence offenses, we think that this will be free. The fifth, to attract public and government organizations, to attract mass media and bloggers involved in complaint issues. And social media, of course, support is necessary. So, what do you think? What's the outcome? Join the GrimLime.